Recently when I was in Italy, I was really attracted to the trees. I loved how they were sort of manicured, and you can see it in these ones. And then these ones are a little bit more natural, but they've had their branches all taken out from the trunks. So you're left with a solid trunk, then these sort of upward branches, and then the leaves at the very top. And this sort of form was really intriguing to me. So, back in the studio, I decided to draw kind of the shape, the basic shape, reduce this down to a basic shape. And this is what I came up with. So these are some basic shapes taken from those, the tree. Then I'm cutting them out. I drew these onto some watercolour paper, so it's quite stiff paper. And I've got the negative shape as well, so I'm sort of making little templates of these shapes. Then in my sketchbook I'm laying down some colour to see what I can do with these shapes in a painting. So sprinkling on some water and then wiping that away. Get these little dots. And then with the water I can create lovely transparency in the paint as well. So adding on a warm sort of cool colour here. I really want to sort of lean into these beautiful Italian warm colours that I saw in the rocks and the landscape. And then just with a comb, just dragging it through to make these marks. So this is just basically creating a surface to play on. Arranging the sandpit before we come in with our tools and things to make shapes and make the painting. So just bringing in a little bit of colour here with the pink, and in some parts it's quite transparent, other parts the paint is much thicker. So here we are using the template, the negative shape, and creating these shapes, and I'm repeating them. So what happens is when you repeat shapes in an abstract type painting, you set up sort of like a pattern. And this gives structure to the painting, so that these repeated shapes give an order and a structure, so that the painting doesn't become too chaotic. And you can repeat it, a variety of shapes, and I'm also repeating the same colour in these. And the colours kind of live within this family of warm colours that I've got going in this painting. And this shape I've turned upside down just for difference, really. They look like a pair of trousers. But anyway, we box on. So now I'm using the actual shape of the tree, and I'm drawing around it to get some line, and just repeating that throughout. And notice how when I do that, the line doesn't go all the way around the template. So I've got a broken line, I've got detail in some of them, and I've just got the outline around the edge in some of them too. And so now bringing in with a pen some more of these lines just in colour. Okay, so that's created some interesting shapes and lines and things, and now I want to create a little bit more difference. So I'm bringing in a light colour, and I'm just boxing in some shapes here. And initially this is going to look quite, like I've kind of gone a bit berserk and slightly ruined the painting. But stay with me. We'll do something on this, and then we'll knock it back. So I've got a pencil, and I'm just actually drawing some of the lyrics of the song that I'm listening to while I do this painting, and I can't remember the song as I do this voiceover, so no one is the wiser. But anyway, coming in with the green paint here, just sort of putting that around. Now what I'm doing is I'm sort of looking at the painting and looking at where I want to knock back that white paint so that I get to see those shapes coming through again. So I'm not looking at creating, making something of those white shapes other than just letting them be lighter areas in this abstract painting. And so these marks are all, if you look, they're all sort of pushing those white areas back, and if I put other paint on, I'm giving the viewer something else to look at. And down the bottom here, I'm just linking up that broad light area at the bottom. So you can see how I've extended some of those green shapes over the light area at the bottom. I've littered them throughout the composition as well, and I've kind of pushed back one of those big brown tree shapes.